September 2008. A tiny island in the Pacific, standing next to a rocket, is 37-year-old Elon Musk, freshly divorced, borrowing money from friends to cover rent. His rocket company has failed 3 launches in a row. His other company, Tesla, is on the brink of collapse too. People call him a one-hit wonder because even PayPal, the company that made him rich, wasn't really his solo win. Today is launch attempt number 4, Falcon 1. If it fails, the company shuts down today. On that island, there are people whose only job is calculating how much the leftover equipment could sell for, so creditors can get paid if this all falls apart tonight. Now, fast forward to today. That company is SpaceX. Last month, it went public, and within minutes of the IPO pricing, Elon Musk became the first trillionaire in history. So, how did we get here? How it started: after selling PayPal, Musk walked away with about $180 million. Sitting on that money, a question hit him. America put people on the moon decades ago. Why has nobody ever gone to Mars? He checks NASA's roadmap. There's no Mars mission planned at all. That bothers him deeply. If humanity only lives on one planet, one disaster wipes out the whole species, just like the dinosaurs. So he cooks up a publicity stunt. Send a small greenhouse with a mouse inside to Mars, hoping the media attention pressures NASA into taking Mars seriously. To do that, he needs a rocket. Paris quotes prices that make no sense. Russia seems cheaper, so he flies there. Gets laughed at. A private citizen trying to buy a rocket wasn't a thing anyone had heard of, and eventually negotiates with retired military officials over decommissioned ballistic missiles. The meetings are chaotic. He has to pay just to sit down. Generals show up drinking vodka through the negotiations, and the price climbs every single time. Eventually, he gives up on Russia. On the flight home, he comes up with the idiot index, comparing raw material cost to the final product's price. He runs the math on rockets and finds the materials only cost about 2% of the sticker price. So he decides, build it himself. SpaceX is born. SpaceX launches in 2002, funded with $100 million of Musk's own money. Friends think he's lost his mind. The company sets up in a rented warehouse. No cubicles, just chairs and a beer fridge. The first launch fails in 2006. Catches fire 25 seconds in. The second fails in 2008. The third is even worse. It's carrying the ashes of Star Trek actor James Doohan along with belongings from 208 other people, and it also breaks apart. All of this is happening during the 2008 financial crisis. Nobody's buying cars, banks won't lend, and investors are done. Then, on the 4th try, it works. Falcon 1 reaches orbit, the first privately built rocket in history to do it. A few months later, NASA calls with a $1.6 billion contract. That's the turning point. How SpaceX makes money today. Rocket launches aren't even the biggest revenue source anymore. There are 4 main streams: government and commercial launch contracts. NASA, the Pentagon, foreign governments, and companies all pay SpaceX to launch cargo and satellites. Starlink, satellite internet, roughly 50 to 60% of total revenue. SpaceX owns about 75% of all active satellites in orbit. By 2026, Starlink has around 15 million subscribers and a profit margin near 40%, higher than Apple or Microsoft. Since SpaceX launches its own satellites on its own rockets, no competitor can easily match it. X, formerly Twitter, now owned under the SpaceX umbrella. Everything else, xAI, the coding company Cursor, and experimental bets like orbital data centers and asteroid mining. Last month's IPO priced shares at $135. They jumped past $150 once trading opened, pushing SpaceX's market cap above $2 trillion. The IPO raised roughly $75 billion, the largest in history. After 23 years as a private company, SpaceX went public mainly for 2 reasons: record profitability and giving longtime employees a chance to finally cash out stock they'd been holding for years. Next up is Starship, the biggest rocket ever built, designed to eventually carry humans to Mars. It's failing tests right now the same way Falcon 1 once did, but almost nobody doubts anymore that it'll eventually work. The only question is when. The takeaway: 3 lessons from this story. Bad stretches usually come before the good ones, so you keep working through them. Experts get things wrong more often than you'd think, so don't outsource your judgment entirely. And the businesses of the next few decades will look like SpaceX, one company owning a cluster of businesses all feeding into each other. If you enjoyed this one, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next story. See you in the next video.